Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Jenny. Hi. You
Hi,
look
can you
so
hear me?
cute.
Hi.
Yes, I can
Oh,
hear
thanks.
you. Awesome.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we are live. Hi, everyone. Um, this is Jenny.
Hello.
I will let her introduce herself. But meantime, please tell us where you're from, your name, and how long have you been doing journal or planning? Hello, Ashley. Hello, Christy. Jenny, can you see the comments and can you see everything?
I can, yes, and I can see everyone showing up. It's so exciting.
Yes, it's so
So I'm
fun.
Jenny.
Yeah.
I'm Jenny Joy Journals on Instagram, and I've been journaling. It'll be 20 years on Sunday. So my birthday is on
Wow.
Sunday, and when I was 12 years old is when I got my first journal that I said, "This is it." It all clicked. At first, I would say before the age of 12, I was a collector of journals where I would collect them because they had cute covers, but I never wrote in one. I just collected the journals. And then
Mhm.
my grandma gave me a journal when I turned 12, and it was a big, beautiful journal. And I said, "I get it now." And I've been journaling ever since.
That is so amazing. And then, like in a such early age, you already find like your interest and find what you like to do. That's awesome. And how do you find the time to journal? Because I know you have a day job. So when do you journal?
So right now, I help run a dental office with my husband. He's the business owner, he's the dentist, and I'm the helper. So I do have a flexible schedule. It's mostly once all the patients leave, so after 5 p.m. And this year,
Mm-hmm.
both of my kids are in school, so I have a nice chunk of time in the morning where my kids are in school before I
Yeah.
have to do all of my work. So I've just been making sure to spend time for myself that I can meditate and journal and think about what I want to write down. And I prioritize that and I make sure I do it every day.
That's so important to have like take care of yourself first before take care of everything else. It's so important to to do this. That's great. When I first saw your waterfall tab, first of all, did you come up this name or is it something you learned like how this waterfall tab come from? The history.
So the name, um, a, a follower on Instagram said, "I think those are called waterfall tabs." And I wish I knew who it was. Um, but at the beginning of last year, decided I wanted to cut my pages. I've seen people do Dutch doors, and I was like, "Ooh, I wonder what happens if I just kept cutting the pages more and more, or folding them." And I shared it on Instagram, and someone says they're waterfall tabs. So I didn't coin the term. I'm not sure who did,
Beautiful.
but that's what I've been calling them ever since. And I love the way they look, and it helps me stay so organized because they all represent like a certain chunk, like a month of the year or a week of the year, and so it's really fun.
Oh, I see. And it's very organized, right? Like you said, this part is
Mhm.
January, February, all that. That's awesome.
Yes.
I'm so excited to have you today to teach us how to do that. Um, so what we gonna before we start, I want to just a few things I want to remind everyone. One is during Jenny's session, we offer 15% off. Use the code waterfall15 for
Woo!
15% off anything during this live. So if you have anything on your wish list, feel free take advantage of this code for 15% off. And then if anything during the live that you have any questions, stuff that Jenny didn't get to, we have a Q&A in the end. So Jenny will be able to answer all your questions. No one left alone. So don't worry if your question haven't been answered yet. And then if you are also watch on YouTube or Instagram, come to my website, which is shoprongrong.com, where we can see your comment. If you are on Instagram or YouTube, we're not able to see your comments. So make sure come here, come to the website so we can answer your question and engage with you as well. So I will leave the chat, I will leave the live and have Jenny take away. I will be in the back end to help with everything else. Are you excited, Jenny? Because we are.
Awesome.
We're ready to
Okay.
learn.
I'm excited.
Awesome.
Natty says, I noticed in the comments, Natty says that they're nervous to see what this is, but I think I'm more nervous than Natty. So we'll see how
No,
this
you
live
are so
goes.
natural. I love all your videos. Like, you're
Thank
amazing.
you.
So I will let you take the stage. I will join you soon. Bye.
All right, I'm going to turn my camera around and set it up, guys. Make sure you can see what I have going on here. This is my desk, and it's just in a corner of my bedroom, which I am trying really hard to make sure you can't see because it is quite messy. But anyways, this is my desk. What I'm going to be showing to you guys today are waterfall tabs. So what they are, I'll give you a little look here. They are cut pages that I have used washi tape for the most part. Sometimes I use stickers. Today we're going to be using the washi tape stickers by Rongrong in the Hey Boo collection. So I'll get to these in just a second. But first, I just kind of wanted to show you a few examples. So in the journal that I'm using right now, I just started this one. Like I mentioned, my birthday is on Sunday, so I'm turning 32. So I had to do a little Taylor Swift tribute. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 32. And you can see that this first section has all of the green washi colors. And I love this because it kind of lets me see how September is going to be set up. And I have my habit trackers and my calendar, and it makes it super nice just to flip through. So here I have my foliage waterfall tabs. In the second half, this is one I did on Instagram with the Amber Allure sticker book. Let's see if I have it right in front of me. I do. One second. So this came out with the Rongrong's Fall 2023 collection, and I used her sticker washies, or washi tape stickers, and I put them in here. So there is a little tutorial on my Instagram right now that shows how I use those, and we are going to be doing that today on these blank pages. If we have time, what I would really like to show you are, let's pull it out here. Sorry, there's so many journals that I want to show you. Let's see, do you cut the journal pages to cascade that way, or did the journal come that way? So yes, I do cut them. So I'm going to show you how I do that today. Sometimes, let me give you a close-up. Sometimes I will cut giving the pages a design, or I've used a paper puncher, and I've actually punched through the washi that goes through it. Just kind of giving you some examples of how I've just designed it. I have a fun paper puncher that had flowers, so I've punched that through my pages. Just kind of different fun designs. I'm going to show you the simple way first, but what I would really like to do if we have time in this workshop is show you how I add little extra tabs. So if that's something you're interested in, I do hope to get to that as well. These are butterfly stickers that I have placed in that overlap each of the washi tapes on the waterfall tabs, which is so fun. This is probably my favorite month. So you can see I have April washi's on this side, and then over here, the butterfly tabs. So that is what we are going to be doing today. Let's see, Tina says, I use the long strip stickers from Amber Allure to create a fall journal. Yay! Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, so Tina is talking about these stickers right here with the Amber Allure. Oh, I'm so happy. We can be twins. Awesome, that is so fun. All right, let me make sure my journal is all set up. I wanted to make sure that you could see. My hands are shaking. It's because I'm a little nervous because I didn't know there'd be so many of you guys here live. I'm so happy that you're here. If you happen to have already purchased the Hey Boo sticker book from Rongrong, we are going to be using the stickers from this book. If not, if you have any of her other sticker books, sometimes if you look on the back, you can see if they have the long strips, and you can follow along that way, or you can use your own washi tape, for example. Let me pull some out. This is another way if you are wanting to follow along, but you don't have any of the Rongrong stickers at this moment. Ooh, yes, let's talk about the size of my journal right before I begin, because I do see that. So I am using the Archer and Olive 8x8. So it's 8 inches by 8 inches. It is a square. However, I do have, let me grab an A5. So a typical journal size, this is an A5, the yellow one, on top of the 8x8. I personally do like the 8x8 just because it gives me a little more space to play with when I am cutting the pages, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it in a normal standard A5. So you can see I have some waterfall tabs here. The one that I really want to show you, let's see, this one turned out beautifully. I used kind of a black and white pattern, but it does cut down some of the size, but you're still able to keep like a to-do list. If you use your journals as a planner, you can do to-do lists in here, write your habit trackers just in a smaller section. So you can do this in an A5. Let me show you with those extending tabs. Now this is a really cool journal. This is from oh, I'm forgetting the name. Life of Color. There we go. This is a Life of Color. It's an Australian company, and they have black pages and white pages, which did come this way. So it alternates black and white. So I did not do that, but I did add the washi tape, and then I used the Rongrong Peace, Love, and sticker book to create these tabs over here. And I'll show you how to do that in this tutorial today. So hopefully that helps with the size. You can do it in either. Like I said, I personally like the 8x8, but you can do it in the typical A5 size too. And I will try to follow through with your questions. If I miss them, you can keep asking them. What I'm wondering is how to cut. Lonnie, don't worry. Let's make sure we have all of our tools. So what you're going to need is your journal. And I'm going to be using the 8x8 today. And I'm going to be using a ruler that extends longer than my page. Typically when I journal for straight lines, I use about an 8-inch straight edge, but we want something that will go all the way across the pages just because it's easier. So I am using the fun elementary school ruler from my son's room. And I like to use an X-Acto knife. I find that using the ruler and the X-Acto knife, when we cut the pages, it gives you a straighter edge rather than using scissors. But if all you have is scissors, you can definitely use scissors. I recommend using a larger pair of scissors rather than a small pair because it's going to give you straighter cuts when you're cutting through the page. So I do have scissors with me. We will probably use these. These are just sewing scissors. I bought them, honestly, because they're beautiful. But sometimes I find that when you are cutting stickers, using a smaller blade when you're cutting kind of gives you more precision, and I do love that. We're going to be using a pencil. This is my lovely pencil. Any kind will work. We might be using a pen, and then this is, I believe it's just called a paper rounder. It's a paper punch that when you stick the edges of your page in it, it punches it and it gives it that round edge, which I really like. It's kind of a finishing touch that just puts it all together, which makes your waterfall tabs look like they were there to begin with. And little do they know that you created them yourself. So we will be using a ruler today. So if you have the sticker book, I'm going to go ahead and grab that out now. Your questions are great. I'll give you kind of a flip through. I've been eyeing this one, saving it for October. So we're going to be setting up my October pages today. And as I look through these, I'm kind of getting an idea for what shape I would want my extra tabs to be. I'm probably going to be using either a spider cake, because I think they're adorable, or one of these stickers that are round, because I think round would be pretty easy as well. But we are looking for washi tape stickers here in the back. Let me find them. Oh no, a question. Where do you buy the round paper cutter? Mine came off of Amazon when I bought my laminator, but you can just search on Amazon paper rounder and it does appear. And there are a couple of different options. I just do the standard rounding. I actually have two. This one says it's a 1/2 inch. This one is a sharper corner. I don't love the 1/2 inch. So It's slightly rounder than that. I wish I knew what this one was exactly. This one is typically used on cards. So if you were making your own like deck of cards, a 1/2 inch corner rounder would be what you would be using there. Chrissy says she found them for $2 on Shein. So I am a fan of Shein. I like the prices there. They just take a little long for shipping. So this is what we are working with today. You're going to be using these, they're stickers. They're stickers, but they are like washi tape and they are the perfect size. I find that when I am working with them, it is just easier for me to rip it out, which I know hurts my heart sometimes, but we are going to do a perfect rip and it's not going to be a big deal. Okay. The most nerve-wracking part is over. That way we can set our sticker book to the side. And we are going to, first what we want to do is count out either how many stickers we plan to use. I plan on using all 8, but if you know that you like to use 5, if you want to do 5 pages or 3 pages, that's what you're going to take into account for. Because I'm going to use all 8, let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because there are 8, I need to know that the next 8 pages are going to be dedicated to these water sticker tabs. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with all of your questions. If I miss them, just keep writing the same question. I'll get to eventually. Now, I love the order that these were placed in from the sticker book. So this is what I hope to make my journal pages look like in this order. So I'm going to start with the ghost. And there are 2 ways of doing this. You can either, if you're not using a set number, you can start with the shortest page first, but sometimes it will be off with the length of your washi tape or your washi sticker. So I like to start with the last page first. So we're going to count the 8, and I'm going to go 8 pages. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the reason that we do this is because we want to start with the straightest line with our washi tape, and all we're going to be doing is lining up with this this edge on that 8th page. And what we do is we're going to take our washi. If you notice that you get confused where your page ends with the page behind it, sometimes I'll grab a different color paper. I'm going to be using, this is just a cutting board sheet that I stole from my kitchen and then I've been using in my craft room or my craft corner ever since. I'm just going to lay this down so you can see the line a little bit better. Go ahead and take your washi tape sticker. Line it up as nicely. Normally I do this part off camera and I'm all nervous that it's going to be crooked. Now, what I love, love, love about these is it's a little bit longer than your standard A5 journal or the 8x8. And because of that, you're going to have a little bit of sticker left over hanging off the edge. And that is going to be your best friend. Do not cut off the edges just yet. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to go back a page and you can see how to line up your sticker. So I'll go ahead and hold this up so you can see. Now that sticker is right there. So we're going to make a little mark at the top and the bottom of this 7th page. So I'm going to use my ruler. I'll use a clear ruler so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to line it up. Sometimes when you're using regular like washi tape that's in a round form like this, I will match it up with the dots, but because we have beautiful washi tape stickers lined up for us already, I'm going to actually follow that. So I will take a little line on the sides, and that's going to help me line up. That's going to help me line up where my next sticker is going to go. If you're a little nervous, if your pages are going to not line up perfectly with the washi tape, you can overlap just a little bit. Overlap your stickers. It'll look nicer that way. So we're going to use the pink and black next. And where we have the lines drawn with our pencil, we're going to line up the top and the bottom. And I'm going to say, yes, that's a success. Now we have this leftover piece of paper. So let's talk about how to get our straight lines here. I'm going to actually go ahead and take my cutting sheet, my cutting board, and I definitely recommend to place this underneath each page that you plan on trimming with an X-Acto knife or a blade of some sort. If you're using scissors, you won't need the cutting board. But I find this to be helpful because sometimes I forget. And then you cut through the next page, and it is just a sad, sad day. So I'm going to sit down for this part because I'm standing. Go ahead and take your ruler. And I would suggest using a ruler. And you're going to, see if I can go in a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to line it up as close as I can to the edge of our sticker. And I do like the thickness of the Rongrong stickers. It kind of helps as a guide as you go ahead and make your cut. This is my X-Acto knife or my blade. And then I'm just going to follow along, adding pressure, cutting all the way down. Ooh, what is the yellow one called? I believe it's called Sunflower. You know what? I did not press that hard enough because my phone was in the way. Let me go ahead and try that one more time. And I also bought these X-Acto knives or these blades. I bought them on Amazon as well. I think it came in a pack of 6, and I have really enjoyed them. There we go. Then we can pull that off. And then, dun, 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 we have our first set of waterfall tabs right here. And we're going to go ahead and keep just leaving the extra parts of the sticker hanging off because we'll cut that all off at the end. Have you ever cut yourself? I'm always scared to use one. No. I have not cut myself while doing art. However, I'm a little klutz in that ways, and so I definitely have some scars from other things, but as far as the X-Acto knives go, I like the length of them. I have not cut myself so far, so knock on wood, hopefully that stays the same. So if you remember, I'll go ahead and do 2 more this way, and then we'll go ahead and add the tab next. Let me check to see if you have any more. You just have to be very careful. Yes, like Chrissy says, be careful, use the cutting board. Yes, exactly. Now this one is a bit wider, which makes it fun. I do like adding variation. Let me go back and I'll show you. So the different thickness, so it shows that whether you're using stickers or washi tape, different thicknesses can be really nice to look at, kind of draws the eye onto the different patterns. And so that's why I'm really happy we've got 2 large, the orange one and the pink. It says spooky season. This is going to go so nicely because this is my October theme. So we're going all Halloween. Now we'll flip to page 6. We are just making our way, which is so great. And remember how this is up here. You can see the extra bit of tape. You can use your pencil if you want to mark it, if that makes it easier for you, or you can just line it up with the top and bottom of the sticker so that they are waterfalling on top of each other. Perfect. And again, we'll go ahead and cut it. I don't necessarily like to use tabs, adding a little extra sticker until we have about 3 squares. So you can see I count this as a square right here. So we have 1, 2, and we almost have a third. So if you wanted to add a tab of some sort here, you could. Let's see, for example, if I have, maybe we'll squeeze one on there just for fun. So what I'm going to do is look through all of the beautiful stickers that you can purchase and save 15% off with Waterfall 15. Thanks to Rongrong. And I'm going to choose one of these stickers and have it overlap. You have an orange theme going here with the flowers. So I think I'm going to extend with these flowers. So I will just take this off. And my plan right now is to overlap on top of the washi. So you can place this wherever you'd like. I'm going to start on the bottom. I'm not going to have it extend past my journal pages, and I'm just going to place it right there on the edge. And this will make my life so much harder, but we got to do it because we have to know how to show everybody how to do the things. I'm sorry if the connection isn't super great. I'm hoping that the quality will upload here in just a second. Okay, so we are close down here at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is probably use the X-Acto knife to cut down on the straight edges, and then I'm going to be going around either with scissors or with the X-Acto knife to get the flowery edge that we have just placed down. Normally I would use a sticker that's more round or square or rectangle. So if you're a beginner and you want to add a tab, let me show you. These would be a good idea, or these little header boxes at the top. These are also very nice that you could put there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start around the sticker and do the best I can to cut, and we can always come back. So if it's a little sharp or a little jagged, we can always come back and smooth out the corners. Right now I'm just trying to get the outline. Notice we have the cutting board underneath us, so we're not cutting through the pages on the other side. And I am just going around each of the flowers right now. And like I said, if you use a sticker that has less edges, this will go much quicker. The butterflies that you saw at the beginning of the workshop, that one was a little tricky, but not too bad because the wings just had more of a double bump shape. This one is definitely more jagged. Am I regretting using this one? No, because the flowers go really nicely with our washi tape, so we are keeping that. All right, we might touch that up at the end, and then I'm going to go back with my ruler. Oh, Skittles, I'm so glad you have this sticker book. Like I said, I have been looking at this one and trying to not use it because I wanted to make sure it looked beautiful for the workshop today. And so once this workshop is over, I'm going to be putting those stickers all over my journal. I'm very excited. Let me just tell you, I use it mainly for memory keeping. So depending on the season, either I will push myself to be more creative in my writing, how I write, perspective of writing. But lately in just the season that I'm in, I've been using it more for like diary keeping. So I talk about my day and what's going on with my kids, because my hope at the end of this is that my journals are beautiful and interesting enough that somebody will want to read them, whether it's my grandchildren or their children. I don't know, but I would love future posterity, future generations to learn a little bit more about me, see my style through the colors that I use, the stickers that I use, and then also the stories within them. So let's go ahead and see how that turned out. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Oh, I love it. So that is an example right there of how you can add a fun little tab on top of your washi tapes. Perfect. Now I did notice, I'm going to flip the page. Thank you, Katrina. I did notice in the Hey Boo sticker book, there were some on the transparent pages. Now I love the transparent ones. Okay, do you see this? Do you see this beautiful, almost like pumpkin garland look? I'm very tempted. I'm very tempted to make this one of my tab pages. But we'll come back to it. We're going to start off simple. That is the goal. Simple for this workshop. Here, this is on the transparent sticker paper too. Ooh, Renee, what did you miss? And I will go over what you want me to catch you up on. All right, so I think, let me compare. We have flowers, pink, ghosts. I'm going to go back in. We're going to do the dark flowers next, but I want to go ahead and try on this the translucent paper. What do you do on the back side of that flower tab that covers the paper on the pages spread? Ooh, fantastic question. Let's go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn. Let's see if I can adjust there. Okay, so we have our flower right here, and now you'll see that there is that extra bedazzle. We're going to call it a bedazzle on the back. I do like putting washi tape on the back too. Here, let me make it so you can see it a little better. There we go. So what I will go ahead and do here is I will try to find a sticker that mimics the shape. And if it's not perfect, I will just cut around it. So what's nice about using the sticker book is the fact that there are a lot of repeating or very similar cohesive stickers that might match. So I'm going to be looking at the flowers because I know that has a very similar shape. So I am actually going to take this flower sticker and compare it. I'm not going to place it down yet, but I'm going to try, let's see, and kind of get a feel for how closely this is going to match up, which isn't going to be too bad. I'm liking this a lot. Sometimes I'll play around with the direction and I will just cut around the extra. If you want, you can just use washi tape and I just cover over it. What I want to do before I place the flower sticker on the back is I want to get a strip here so that everything's cohesive. So I believe what I'm going to do first is let's grab this one. Oh, so pretty. I love this. I'm going to line it up with my straight edge, just like we were doing with the first ones. Oh, it's so sticky. Come back. Whew! I almost had a heart attack. I'm going to line this up, and then we will be placing that flower sticker right over the top of this once this is laid down. So it should look fairly similar front and back. Now, here's an example of when I didn't do it perfectly straight. So you can see a little bit of white right here on the page. And you know what? If that drives me nuts, I am just going to trim it up and I'm going to cut it up at the end. But for now, I'm going to leave it because ideally I want to get all of my waterfall tabs in. And then as the rest of my creativity comes as far as other stickers on the page, then we will adjust there. So now we're going to go back to that flower sticker that I accidentally closed. There it is. Oh, I saw a question. What do you do on the back? Oh, that's what we're doing right now. Perfect. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see how I do this. And I want it to line up pretty closely, but another thing with flowers, so nice. Nature is always different and unique. So if we have to cut around the edges, we have to cut around the edges. So I'm going to place this here. And you might not even notice on this side, but there is a little paper showing right here. If I want to cut it off on the right side of the page or the left, I'm definitely going to be trimming up down there. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to give you a close-up view because I know that the screen is a little bit blurry. And I'm just going to take that blade once again with my cutting board underneath, and I'm just going to go along the edges. And you guys will see that it's not always perfect, but man, does it look perfect on Instagram? It definitely does. And that's because I think in reality, we see that we're human and that we can see there are imperfections, and I love that. But on the screen, when you take pictures and videos and we see these things on social media, we think that they're perfect and they're not always perfect. So if you feel like the pages rip a little bit or the corners are a little too sharp, mine are too, and that's totally fine. And if this is blurry, I do have a simple tutorial on my Instagram, and I will be making one with this tab so that you can get an idea of what that looks like too. But I'm hoping as it uploads, when you watch the replay, it'll show up a little clearer. All right, so we cleaned up the edge on this right side. And for me, whichever sticker is going to be the viewed side when I look at my waterfall tabs as a full set, this is the side I want to look more perfect. So I'm more likely to cut around this sticker, cutting into the sticker on the back, because the side on the left won't be as important. So we're gonna just trim up. This is what it's looking like. It's still looking great, even though we've trimmed into that sticker. Flip it over. Yes, Skittles, I agree. We notice our own mistakes way more than other people's. And sometimes I feel like for a while I was afraid to even try because I felt like everybody was so ahead of me. They knew what they were doing. I didn't know what I was doing, so why even try? And I feel like if that's the reason why you're doing art, then you're doing art for the wrong reason. We do art for ourselves, for creativity, for expression, and I love that. Usually when I am, use my scissors here. Usually when I'm using, or when I'm doing my crafty side, so when I'm not writing, so my goal with a journal is to have the writing in it. And that's what keeps me inspired, and that's what keeps me motivated, is knowing I don't want to miss a memory because I was too tired. So some seasons you'll notice that it's mostly writing, where other seasons I'm a little less busy and I'm able to focus more on the artistic side. So Rongrong stickers are so perfect right now because it's a blend that I can still get creative, but she does the art. She does the art and I just put them in my journals. So in my past journals, I had a lot more doodles, hand-drawn things, but now I can use these stickers, which speed up the process. Let's see, I'm going to take you off of my tripod for a close-up here. So it looks like that. Chrissy, the scissors are from Shein, is where I got these, but you can also get them from Amazon. Ooh, we just got an 8x8 journal this week. Oh, I'm so excited. I love the 8x8. Even if you decide that you don't want to cut the pages, or if you do, I have found that I've been able to put more months into one journal. Typically with an A5, I can get January to June. So it's nice to have the 6-month split, but with an 8x8, I can usually get to September. September is where I can fill up. I have enough pages to have my monthly spread and my habit trackers and my daily writing, which is super nice. All right, let's go ahead and do a couple more of these waterfall tabs. If you're just joining, this is perfect. We're going to be doing a recap right here. We want to make sure that we have our cutting board and our blade, and I'm going to use that a pencil again. Use a ruler, and we're going to line it up. Let me do a close up. I'm going to line it up with my ruler. So it's lined up right with the same line as that sticker that we used on the page before. I'm going to also line it up with the sticker on the bottom, which you can't see because of my camera angle, sorry. And I'm just going to do a little line. That's going to be helpful when I place the sticker. Now, if you look closely, hopefully it shows up. Let's see if it focuses. I am overlapped just the slightest. And by overlapping, that's going to guarantee that when you look at the waterfalls, it won't be peeking any of the white pages. We'll grab our stickers. Next, we're going to be going with the pink ghost and the black background. I love it. Lining it up, so I hold my breath again and hope that it goes on straight. And on the next one, I'll do the next one crooked on purpose, and I'll show you what you can do in case you mess up. But right now, not yet. Can you do this in a happy planner? I believe so. You just have to be aware of what you're cutting off on both sides. But I think any journal will do. This is also, the paper that I prefer in my journal is 160 GSM, which is very thick paper, which is great. It allows me to use all of my different markers. I don't use alcohol-based markers in my journal, but as far as the water-based pens like Crayola, highlighters, felt tip pens, they work really well on paper that's 160 GSM, but you don't have to have thick paper to do these waterfall tabs. And I have found that if bleeding or ghosting does bother you on a journal that has thinner paper, again, I love these sticker books. I can show you I'll use Peace, Love, and stickers because this one's one of my favorites. I love how there are always these squares that give you space for writing. And whether you're using it for planner purposes or just notes, sometimes I'll place these stickers on top of my writing that has bleeding through the pages, or if I want to use a fancy marker but know it'll bleed, I will put the sticker down and write directly on that sticker. Chrissy says, I'm even thinking of using this idea for my sermon notes for church using Rongrong instead of boring notes. I love that. This is currently the one that I use for my church devotionals, and it's been working great. Again, it's just a blank notebook, but I'm able to write down my thoughts, my feelings, and my prayers. So really, a journal is so versatile, whether you're using it for planning, your spirituality, meditation, working through something, therapy. I love journaling, and I will probably journal my entire life. All right, we're going to place the cutting board underneath, line it up with a ruler to get our straight edge. And sometimes if you are using scissors, when the edges aren't straight, that's when you might also notice the white peeking through from your pages. So let me get this one on here, and then I will show you what to do when you mess up. Beautiful. These are looking so nice. It's almost time to add another fun tab. All right, so let's say we miscalculate, and we're going to make a little mistake on this next one. So let me show you what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, of course, you don't want to do this on purpose, but we want to be lined up. If you were doing this normal, we want to be lined up right with our sticker. But let's say we miscalculated, and now, let me put this behind so you can see. There's a little gap. There's a gap between my black sticker and where I'm going to be cutting my line. So I'm going to cut down. Oh my goodness, guess what we almost forgot? The cutting board. Don't forget the cutting board. Which means I need to make a pencil mark. Actually, I'm going to just use this dot. 1 second. Art takes time. So ideally your stickers will line up, but in this case I want to show you, oops, see how we have too much space between our top layer and then the one below? It peeks through the paper here. What you can do is just add more stickers. When in doubt, add stickers, right? So you can either grab them from the collection that you're using. I think I'm going to steal it. I do try to make the colors line up, or in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's just a really skinny line for the waterfall tabs. I think for this, I do have, let me pull it out. I do have a collection of washies of different shapes and sizes. And because we're kind of going with a spooky Halloween theme, I will pull out a couple and we'll see what works best. This one might be too skinny, but I'll show it to you just in case. They're stuck together for some reason. So this one has a little gold moon action, and then I might grab a thicker one just in case if our oopsie-daisy was cut too wide. So I'm actually going to use the wider one. This just has a fun little golden design on it, constellations, which kind of goes well. We have the black bats. So I'll zoom back in on here. And what I'm going to do is on the page where we've last done the washi, I'm going to be placing that other layer. Now you can make it pop. So if you don't want it to blend in where I have black and black, you can switch it out for a completely different color. If I had orange, I honestly think I would do orange, but I am not seeing an orange. What about, maybe I do want you to see the pop. Compare. Ooh, that looks nice. And what I'll just do is I'm going to line up this tape with the sticker that I've already placed down. And it's okay, even if it's crooked. So let's say your sticker was slanted at an angle. That's going to look just fine with your washi tape waterfalls when the all the pages are laying on top of each other, as long as you have a thick enough piece of tape. So it doesn't have to be thin. You can use a thick piece of tape that goes further over. It gives you less writing space, but when you close the page, let me show you. Now, it looks so nice, and it looks like you did it intentionally. Hello, Christina. Perfect. So now it was never an oopsie daisy to begin with. And when you are writing on your page here, it honestly looks like you have an extra waterfall tab, which makes it super beautiful. Perfect. I think it's time to watch me struggle again. I'm going to do another tab with our waterfall strips. So for this page, I think this will be, we'll do 2 more. I want to try a really fancy one. We have flowers. Let's go ahead and figure out which one we should do next. If you have this sticker book and you have an idea of what you'd like to see as the next tab, shout it out in the comment section. I'm hoping to find one a little more square, or I might, ooh, okay, Skittles she's already on it. Do the pumpkin sticker, okay. But I get to choose which pumpkin sticker because some of them look harder than others. Let's go ahead and find a single pumpkin. Should I do pink or should I do orange? Oh, Tina says the cat. Maybe we'll have to do both. Should I do, oh, there's a spotted pumpkin too. All right, pink. You guys are quick. We're going to go with the pink stickers. So that means I'm going to use my orange because I don't want to overlap pink with pink. Oh, look at that. Pink, pink, pink. You guys think alike. So I'm going to first put down, I'm going to show you another way if you didn't feel like cutting over the pages. So on this one, let me zoom in again. For this flower tab, we left the page from our journal, and that just makes it thicker, easier to turn, less likely to rip. But let's say you wanted to add the tab, but there's no extra paper, you've already split into it. No worries, no fear. We're going to first put down our washi tape sticker from the Rongrong sticker books, which you can get 15% off with code WATERFALL15 today. Because you guys are here. And look, I have a little bit of a white strip, so I'm going to trim that off because no biggie. It's a no biggie, like I would tell my 7-year-old. It's a no biggie. You just trim it up and you make do with what you have. Let me cut through this. Would I use my straight edge? I probably should because we might not have a very straight. Okay, we will. I was trying to do it the quick way, but you gotta be patient with art. Grab my blade. Switching to a blue. Use that ruler. I am not using the ruler because if I make mistakes, I want to be able to show you how to fix them. So this is me being a daredevil, I guess. Daredevil in art. We're going to call that good for now. It's not perfect, but we're going to leave it. Good, good. Where's that pumpkin? We're going to take that pumpkin now, the pink one. So pretty. And I'm going, oh dear, that's okay. I'm going to place it where I think it looks best. Because this is wider than it is tall, it will be more flabby as you're turning the pages. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that at least half of the pumpkin is on our page. So it's going to be overlapping at least half. The less that it's attached to the page, the more flimsy it becomes. I notice with storage that your stickers and your tabs will get bent over time. So I think it's going to look lovely about right here. So I'm going to place that down halfway because we don't want it to stick to our other layers. So we have this with our sticker hanging off on the other end. Now, the couple options, we showed you how you can find a sticker that looks very similar and you place it on the back when you're doing the back side. You know, one of the hard things about using an 8x8 journal is I feel like I have to adjust this a lot more for you guys. I'm so sorry. So we are going to flip it over. I'm going to place my cutting board down so you can see what we're doing, what we're working with. All right, so this is still sticky. There's a couple options. If you don't want to find another pumpkin sticker that matches it, which would be the easiest option because we do have a couple of stickers to choose from, you can take tape if you'd like, if you're changing it up. So let's see what I have here. And you can go ahead and lay it across. Let's go ahead and use, I want to stick with my theme, which is pink. I'm going to grab a pink one. 1 second. Okay, I'm going to be going with this thick washi tape that I believe this came from Shein, because it overlaps long enough to reach the straight edge over here on our page, as well as hitting the pumpkin, which I love. So what I'm going to do when I place this down on the side, I am just going to go right over the top of that pumpkin. So you can see where the pumpkin is at. Make sure my edges are straight. I'm just going to be following the dots that are already on my page. And it doesn't have to be too thick, but it can also be as thick as you'd like. I'm going to place that down. Line it up with the dots. Perfect. So now as it's placed there, let me show you what it looks like on the other side. You can actually see through pretty nicely. That's good. So you can see we have our pumpkin there, and this will just be a checkered pattern tab on the back side. And then you will take your scissors and you will cut off the extra. I will probably use my large scissors just because I want to save time, unless I can't find them because I am throwing things everywhere. Okay, here we go. Yes, this cutting board that I am using was actually, it's larger. It was larger when I purchased it, but I cut it in half. I just took some scissors and I said, this is mine. And I cut it with no regrets, and it fits on my shelf so nicely. Well, actually, I might flip it over this way. And I'm just going to cut along the edge. When we get to that pumpkin, it might be a little trickier. We might want to use our sharp blade. But for the most part, I am cutting off the easy sections. Like this. Take all the notes. So it's interesting. I have been journaling for 20 years, writing down my thoughts, which is so great. I love that I have memories written down of when I first met my husband. Of course, it means I have all of the memories of the ex-boyfriends too, which I'm sure my daughter is going to love making fun of me in the future when she gets a little bit older. But I just love seeing how I've been able to grow and change with the way that I think, and how my style of the journal has changed. And it was only back starting in 2020 when, with the COVID shutdown, that is where I purchased my first bullet journal and decided, you know what, I want to make my journals a little more colorful. I've seen a few things online, and my mother actually kept a journal, and she is the most amazing artist in the whole world. She actually, for the longest time, she would pay for our Christmas presents by getting little jobs at banks or coffee shops that wanted paint on their windows for the holidays. So if you this fall or this winter see any holiday painting jobs on a coffee shop or on a bank, just know that there's an artist out there who is hired to paint that. And that's what my mom did growing up, and it would always make enough money to buy my siblings and me presents. But because of her artistic ability, she kept a journal, and she would always do a little doodle at the beginning of her entries. And she would draw a picture of her and her siblings, or her and her prom date. And that's when I was like, let's add a little more art to the journal, just like my mom. So she is a big inspiration. I come from a big line of journalers. My grandma journaled, and my great-grandma journaled, and I I love that. I love that legacy, and that's what I'm trying to accomplish with my journals. What kind of cutting board is that, Jenny? It's nice and thin. It is. You know what? I find that the cheaper you go, the thinner the cutting boards are. I believe this one came with a set where it had like a picture. It said like chicken and vegetables, and one side is textured. I don't know. It was just from Walmart. It was one that was thin enough that I could cut with some really nice scissors. Yep, just one from the kitchen. Just a kitchen cutting board. Skittle says, my mom journaled, but then got depressed and threw them all out. I was always looking forward to reading them when I got older, and she said we could read them then, so your daughter is going to love them. Now, I have such mixed feelings. I feel like sometimes our journals get to see the worst of us, whether it's through depression or our hard trial that we're going through. And then there are also the joys. And I think there are different uses of a journal. Some are designed to be thrown away, and I think that is lovely. Do what you have to do. Get your thoughts on paper, throw it away, don't let anybody see them. My journals, I wouldn't say it's only positivity, but when I am struggling through a trial or trying to process my feelings and emotions, my journal entries will usually start off with, I'm sad because of this. And as I continue to write, I've learned that my brain is faster than my hand can write. There's actually an author, I can't remember their name, but they talk about writing their script with a special inked pen because it takes so long to dry, which means he has to write slow enough to let the ink dry, but it helps him formulate his story. And I love that. So as I'm writing, I'm able to process my feelings and then think, well, what is the other person in the situation doing? And I write in my journal my next step, my plan on how to fix this problem. So I am excited to see. There's some journals like I have not gone back into because I'm not ready for that mental load, but they're there, and I'm excited to eventually see how that ends up where I am today from where I was at that time in my life. So here we go. We've got these tabs. I'm going to go ahead and show you, in case you do have to leave, I want to show you how to do the other side. So we are going to now trim off our edges. I'm personally going to leave the edge on my top page on, because after this live is over, I'm going to finish that up, and that will be a nice guide. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the extra pieces, which I did not do the straightest edge because we are human and it is okay. Cut off the edges on the top. And if it's easier for you to flip it over, feel free to flip those pages over so that you're able to get that straight edge. There you go. Got a little haircut. And I want to go ahead and use our rounder. So if you're just joining, this is just a paper rounder or a corner edger. If you type in paper rounder on Amazon, you'll see what I'm looking at. And I like to do this because I think it gives a nice finishing touch to the journal pages. So I'm just going to line it up, press it in kind of like a paper punch. And let's see if I can show you close up. And it's going to give you a nice round edge, which I also love because there's a little bit there. It's not going to poke me. I like rounded pages that don't poke me. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for the rest of the tabs that we've made here. Obviously, I do have on the back of this one here, we have the translucent sticker, which is a little trickier. So you might have to trim it up with some scissors, which is also fine. Go ahead and do that if you need to. And we'll go ahead and put the last rounds here. Make it look all nice. And I love the effect that gives. Perfect. The first page is the last thing I want to show you here. So let's say we were on our last page. I like my waterfall tabs to kind of mirror each other. So I know this might be a little blurry for you. I'm going to back it up. Yes, I do round them at the bottom. For time's sake, I'm just leaving it there. I like to round the top and the bottom, but good question, Tina. right, let me show you an example of what I'm doing next. So here's one that's already done. We have the butterflies, the rainbow theme on the left. These are individual pages that have been cut, but on the left side, I have one page that is not cut. These are all of the tapes that I've used on one page. So I will go through, that way it gives it kind of a cohesive look. In the journal, it looks like the waterfall tabs are spilling on the right and they're spilling on the left, but it's only on the left that they're all on one page. And I like this effect too, because when I am flipping my pages, don't want to see my writing on the page before. This is obviously preference, but I like to make sure that the tape will go far enough over that when I cut, you'll always see this rainbow and the pages slowly get larger and larger, but you still have that rainbow look over there on the left. So we will go ahead and put down some tapes there if you'd like. And this is actually something I noticed that, let's use this as an example. When I was first trying to figure out how to do the tabs, sometimes I'd mess up, which we've learned is okay. But if you look here, where'd it go? Look at that. This is actually a second sticker of the butterfly, of a different butterfly, but it's almost similar enough that I just put it here on the edge and lined it up so that you could still have that butterfly effect. I believe I did that on the front here too. Let me show you. So just kind of giving you some ideas of ways to do your waterfall tabs or a fake waterfall tab. I have my butterflies here that extend off the page. But this third one right here, if you'll notice, it's not. This is probably one of the oopsie daisies, but I decided that I wanted the butterfly to stay there. So I actually cut the sticker and put the extra bit over on the next page so that it lines up. So that is also an idea if it's overwhelming to you to do the extra cut around, go ahead and just plop the sticker down, cut it up, and add it to the waterfall tabs. Ooh, thank you, Rongrong. I do have a YouTube channel. It's pretty dry right now. My kids are now in school, which means it is quieter, which I'll have the chance to film. And I'm hoping in the next couple months I can start getting that up and running. I do have YouTube shorts, and I have one video up, but I'm hoping to get a few more up here pretty soon. Paula, don't worry, there is going to be a replay. If you want, I will go ahead and show you one more example. The most important thing to remember when you're doing your waterfall tabs, if you want straight edges, I do find that using a blade, so this is an X-Acto knife or an X-Acto blade, with a ruler seam or a straight edge gives you the most crisp lines without making mistakes, which is super nice. So let's go ahead and add some of the tapes of how we want to do that on the left side. So we have this color theme. Because we're using the washi tapes from the sticker book, there aren't too many, so we're going to get a little more creative with our book, and I will be searching for long strips that we want to cover for this left side. Let's see. I might make you vertical so you can kind of get an idea of both. There we go. Remember how we saw those pumpkins in the back? These pumpkins right here. And then there was another one with flowers. Here's another example of what we can do. I'm going to start with the longest sticker first. There it is. This is going to be the best one. We're going to use this first. What does the back of the pumpkin look like? Let me show you. So I did an example. On the back here, we just did a strip of washi tape that extended over into the bump. So this one just has washi tape here. And what I will probably do, because I get bored and I never finish on the same day that I start, I might notice as I'm going along that I want to add another sticker here. And if that's the case, I might look for something cute and little, maybe a bat or a little pumpkin or a spider. Ooh, let's do the spider. I might take that spider and I'll go ahead and place it right there. So I just kind of add little things here and there as I go. When I first placed that washi tape, I didn't have the idea to put more stickers to extend that look. But now that I'm here, I'm saying, oh, this looks great. So even if you're unsure what the final product is going to look like, if you have an idea, place it down. Place it down and it'll all come together in the end. And if there is one tip that I have is when in doubt, add more. When in doubt, add more color. And if there is enough color and pizzazz, people won't notice the mistakes. So here I've got a little sticker on the back of that. The replays will be on Rongrong's website. I believe the website is tagged somewhere in the comments. It'll probably get posted one more time. The other example I wanted to show, we did another tab with the flowers. But for this one on the flowers, we went through a little extra work and I put another sticker mimicking the flowers on the front, the ones on the back, like that. All right, where are those beautiful pumpkins? I want to get them on my journal so badly. I have been looking at them for so long. Oh, I did not notice this. If I had noticed this sooner, see that little peeking ghost right there? He is going to be a tab. I'm going to leave a little extra space on paper somewhere. It will be poking out because that is so adorable. Nina, my recommendation. So as of right now, the only 8x8 journals I know of that have 160 GSM paper, meaning it has the thicker paper, is Archer and Olive. I know some people love Archer and Olive. Some people can't get it because of where they live. It's too expensive. So it's the only brand I know right now with 8x8. The other suggestion is if you are not opposed to having a journal without dots. So if you'd be willing to have a journal with just plain pages, I would look into a sketchbook. I find that sketchbooks are usually cheaper, which can be very nice for the budget, for the wallet. But they are blank rather than having the dots. It still gives you thick paper, but there are so many different sizes of sketchbooks, whether you're going to your local Walmart or looking online. But that can be another way of finding an 8x8 journal with nice paper. Because my thought is you don't want to invest in nice stickers and nice markers and design to have it bleed through and then nobody can see your designs because it's bled through on all the sides. So here what I'm doing is I am decorating that left page now, kind of getting an idea. When I flip it, we have a little space here. What do we want to put there? Ooh, Ollie's Outlet. What I'm seeing Christy is suggesting, sketchbooks, my YouTube channel. It's linked. If you type in Jenny Joy Journals, whether that's on Instagram or YouTube, I should pop up. Like I said, it's pretty bare, but if eventually the videos will be coming because I do enjoy posting the videos. So because I have it, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer it with another bumpy background, probably those flowers, because I love the flowers. Here we go. Is that what I want? You're seeing my process. Sometimes I go through back and forth. What I'm struggling with right now is because I placed this and it's bumpier, if I had done it again with my stickers with these pumpkins, I probably would have placed a straight edge sticker down first with the pumpkins on top. But because we didn't, we're just making it up as we go. I'm going to use these anyway. Let's see how it looks. And with the waterfall tabs, there's no right or wrong way, whether you use 3 pages or 8 pages, if you use different colors, if you use all of the same, whatever looks best in your journal for you. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to play around. Before I place this down, I need to decide if I want to overlap on those pumpkins, which doesn't look too bad, or if I want to turn it around and make my straight edge on this side. You know what? I'm going to do that. This way it looks like those pumpkins were actually behind. I'm going to line it up with the dots on the dot grid from the paper. That's just going to help with my next layer. So we are getting really fun with all of the patterns. I've got my pumpkins, I have my flowers. Sometimes I'm sure it doesn't show up on this live, but if you can see where my black and white pumpkin is, there's kind of the residue or the ghosting from the sticker I just laid on top. If you press down with a hard surface, usually if you have scissors, the back end of a scissors, or with your markers, that will get rid of the little air bubbles, which makes it look more seamless. Now we still have some space down here, so I'm going to find another flower because we just need a little bit, which I am hopeful we will find. That one might do. That's pretty close to our size. Let's see if there's one slightly bigger. I will keep my finger there. Ooh, I don't know if I want to use the one that big yet. Okay, we're looking. This is just how it works in my brain. We're going to use the shorter one. Yes. Pull that off. Thank you. Ooh, somebody had asked if I would do the Dutch door, the folding over page, and I think we have just enough time. I will go ahead and show you how I do that. Now, I want to show you. I'm placing this down, and there's a little peeking hole right here with nothing. So what am I going to do? I'm going to find a sticker, and I'm going to place it over the top because you can overlap stickers because it's your journal, and I love that. So I'm going to look one more time for either a single flower. That would be ideal. And if there aren't any flowers, it's probably going to get a spider or a ghost. Do we want it to be a ghost? Let's do a little ghosty. Because I like that the ghost is pink and it kind of matches. And I will just place it right in there. Hidden away. And I believe this might be thick enough to go over. And so it all is seamless right there. All right, we have 18 minutes left or so. Let me show you really quick. I had a couple questions before we started of folding out pages. I'll show you what that looks like. Let me move some things out of the way, and then we'll end it with a Q&A here at the end. So if by chance you're wanting to do waterfall tabs and still have a folding feature, I know I have one in here somewhere. Give me just a second. Oh, here we go. So for example, we've got waterfall, but on this second page here, if you flip it over, I've made a tab. And all you do here is where before you cut the page, fold it. Just fold the page so it will line up without cutting the page. This is the full 8x8. I've placed my washi tape where I want it to be. And with that extra paper, I have just flipped it over. So it lines up, it leaves your washi tape, but still gives you a fun kind of a Dutch door look. So that is also an option too. And with that, I think we'll end with a Q&A. I'm not sure if Rongrong hops back on for the Q&A, but anything you might have missed, feel free to ask, and I am happy to answer any questions for you. I'll kind of flip through this front page. I love this is actually using cardstock that I just used a glue stick. So I used a glue stick, cut out my pages, and was able to put them in that way. So you don't have to use stickers. You can also use beautiful paper too. Hello.
Hello, Jenny. Great. Oh my God.
Hello.
We had so much fun learning your technique. And look at all this.
Oh, thank you. It was so fun.
Yeah, it is so fun. And you did a great job with follow up the questions. I think only one in the beginning, Stephanie Ann, she asked, she wants you to show her the scallop flip folded page. In the beginning, when you show us all like your journal, you have a scallop folded page, and she wants to know more about that one.
Okay, I'm not sure which that one is. If you're still on, if you'll give me an idea of the colors. Otherwise, it's very similar with just the folded. I just fold it over. Unless
I think you use you mentioned you use the scissor to cut a shape, like
okay.
a scallop
Probably
shape.
these. So what I did here was I lined up where I wanted the washi tape to go, but before I sliced off the extra paper, oops, we lost it. Before slicing off the extra paper, say it was lined up here, I placed the sticker down on top and then cut around. So I used that sharp edge. You can see that there's a little bit of extra there. And then because I had 2 stickers, I was able to line it up with another circle image on the backside. So the backside also has pretty tabs.
Wow. This is so, it's like a lot of mental work because you have to think of the front and the back.
I know.
That's really cool.
Thank you. It's interesting. Yeah. I don't plan too far ahead. I just kind of go with it and see what happens.
Okay. Right. Follow your intuition.
Yes, I usually pick a color scheme, or if I have a new sticker book, I will say I want to stick with this sticker book, this sticker theme, and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I've asked my follower why they like journal. They say there's a couple of things they mentioned. They think it's very calming and creativity, a great way to express their creativity, and this what you have demonstrated today. Just bring the creativity to another level. I would never think how to make the edge so beautiful. It's really a piece of art, not only journal, but like really beautiful artwork. How you mix with the pattern, everything just really cool. So I think most people got their answer. And then if you trying to do at home and forget the steps, you can always come back, watch the replay. It's always live on my website, and you can watch the replay from other previous lives too. There's a lot of amazing content creators have shared their tips and tricks. So I think you did an amazing job. We have a lot of people watching, and I hope they all learn something and feel inspired to do something right away.
Yes, I hope so. And if you guys aren't following me already, my Instagram handle, if you don't mind posting that one more time for me, it's Jenny Joy Journals. And if you search that on Instagram, it should pop up. And I believe YouTube, if you type in Jenny Joy Journals, you should find me there too. Otherwise, the link to my YouTube is on Instagram.
Yes. So I post your YouTube and your Instagram together.
Mm-hmm. And then, Rachel, to answer your question, my 8x8 journals are from Archer and Olive. And I find that you can use a smaller size journal if you want an A5. This one is from Life of Color. If you're in Australia, they're much cheaper than they are here in the US. But any size will do. But I have found that 8x8s are really nice with Archer and Olive or a sketchbook from like Walmart.
Yeah. And you prefer the dotted insert, right? Not the
Yes, I do like the dot. I feel like I use enough of straight edge stickers. So because so many are square or rectangle, it's nice to have the dots on the page to just line it up to make everything look nice and pretty. But this journal that I used didn't have any lines, and I would say that it looks fairly similar to the ones that do have dots.
So Melissa asked, what with the teal and the green edges, do you cut with scissors or do you leave the edges raw? Teal and green edges. Do you know which one?
Probably these. So I did maybe. With all of my waterfall tabs, I do cut the pages. With scissors, I prefer the straight edge. So I would say I use a straight edge unless I don't have a ruler nearby, just because I find with scissors, I'm more likely to move a little bit and it doesn't make the lines quite as sharp and straight. So I prefer a ruler with a straight edge, but you can definitely use scissors if you are cutting them, I would use longer scissors because you're going to have better luck than if they are short-bladed scissors.
Yeah, so Melissa asked it's the squiggles edge in the beginning.
Yes. Depending on the squiggles, sometimes I just make up the squiggles as I go, and in that case, I will use scissors because I find cutting into paper with scissors can be easier. But if I'm using a certain pattern, so for example, this one, let me zoom in closer. This was actually washi tape that had a design pattern. Oops, sorry. Or this washi tape also has a design. And in that case, if I'm trying to match the pattern, I will use the sharp edge.
Do you, so like when you do the squiggles, does it has to be all the rest of your edges all squiggle, or just can be one that's
It can
different?
be. I like to, I think it gives it more of a feature when it's just one, but it can definitely be whatever
Yeah.
you prefer. I'm noticing as I look through my journals that it's usually one or two stripes just because the straight edge seems to be easier. So here again, I'll show you. This one is also zigzagged.
Yes, the beautiful butterfly.
Thank you.
It's a really cool way to do the sticker stick out as a tab, like as a tab.
It's very fun, and like it's easier if you do squares or circles because there are usually more square circle stickers that you can use. Here's an example of the back. I just used washi tape and then added some fun stickers here and there.
So cute. Love the panda.
Thanks. The whale tapes I got from Shein. They're thicker. Oh, just kidding. I lied. This is actually from the washi tape shop. To answer your question, somebody asked about the whale tape. So that's from the washi tape shop.
So cool. Wow. Love all these different foils. Beautiful.
Yes, thank you. Oh, and there's also the pet tape.
Yeah.
So if you
Yes.
if you guys
How do
don't
you use
want
the pet?
to purchase the tape. Oh, the same. I use it the exact same. So here's something I previously cut off. I will use these more for the design once my waterfall tabs are laid in, but I love the ones that are have clear backgrounds. So let me pull this one up. And I will use the pet tapes more for the design once I have laid the waterfall tabs. So those will be within the pages.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. As like the individual sticker. Perfect. I love that you made like a logo of your Instagram in the
Oh, thanks. That was
on
from
your bio side.
a follower designed that for me for Christmas
How cute.
on Instagram. I was like,
Yeah.
I love it. And
Adorable.
she bent it all and made it
Yeah.
it's super cute.
Yeah. It's amazing. I never see this type of thing before. So cool. So sweet. Awesome. So I hope everyone had a great time learning this. It's really, I never see this type of thing before, and I'm so happy Jenny is willing to teach us, share her like creativity with us. This really means so much for the community, and we all can use our creativity and help each other and make better journals and planners. So thank you everyone for joining us, and I can't wait to see you next time.
All right,
Stay tuned
goodbye,
for our next
everybody.
workshop. And thank you so much, Jenny.
Goodbye.
We had so much fun. Truly